Welcome back to AI Search Explained by Rank4AI. I'm Adam Parker, and today we're diving into something that's been coming up in almost every audit we run: what AI systems actually look for when they're deciding which sources to cite. Jimmy's here with me, and this is episode 38.
Right, and this matters because we're seeing businesses panic about their Google rankings dropping, while completely missing that their competitors are getting cited in ChatGPT searches and Perplexity results. The game has changed, but most people are still playing by the old rules.
Exactly. Through our research at rank4ai.co.uk, we've been running systematic tests across ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Claude, and Copilot to understand their citation patterns. What we found is that these systems aren't just looking at traditional SEO signals.
So what are they actually looking for then? Because I've got clients asking me this every week, and they want specifics, not theory.
The first thing is contextual authority. It's not just about having high domain authority in the traditional sense. AI systems are evaluating whether your content demonstrates expertise specifically for the query being asked. Can you break that down? What does contextual authority actually look like on a web page? We've seen this in our audits. A local accountancy firm getting cited over PwC for specific tax questions because their content directly addressed the exact scenario in the query. The AI systems recognized that specificity and relevance trumped brand recognition.
That's interesting, but how does a small business actually build that contextual authority? They can't just hope the AI notices them.
The key is structured expertise signals. We're seeing AI systems heavily weight content that includes clear credentials, specific case examples, and direct answers to common variations of questions in that topic area.
Right, so instead of writing generic service pages, businesses need to be documenting their actual expertise and experience. Makes sense from an operational standpoint too. It forces them to articulate what they actually know. The second major factor is source freshness and accuracy verification. But it's not just about publication dates. AI systems are cross-referencing claims across multiple sources to validate information. How does that work in practice? Are they fact-checking every claim? Not exactly fact-checking, but we've observed that content which aligns with information from multiple authoritative sources gets cited more frequently. It's like they're looking for consensus validation. So businesses need to make sure their content isn't contradicting established facts or industry standards. That sounds obvious, but I bet plenty of websites have outdated information that could hurt them. Precisely. We did an audit for a financial services company where their old blog posts about tax rates were actually preventing them from getting cited for current queries. The AI systems were seeing conflicting information from the same domain. That's a cleanup job most businesses probably haven't considered. What else are these systems looking for? Citation formatting and source attribution plays a bigger role than most people realize. Content that properly references other sources, includes relevant statistics with dates, and links to authoritative supporting material gets weighted differently. Wait, so AI systems are rewarding content that cites other sources? That seems counterintuitive. Wouldn't you want to keep traffic on your own site?
It's the opposite of traditional SEO thinking, but it makes sense from the AI's perspective. They're looking for content that demonstrates research depth and intellectual honesty. A page that acknowledges other perspectives or data sources appears more trustworthy.
I can see how that would work for B2B companies or consultancies, but what about local businesses? Are plumbers supposed to start citing industry studies?
Not necessarily studies, but referencing local regulations, manufacturer specifications, or industry standards can have the same effect. We've seen a heating engineer getting cited consistently because they referenced specific boiler manufacturer guidelines and local building codes.
That's actually quite practical. Most tradespeople know that stuff anyway. They just don't think to include it on their websites.
The fourth pattern we're tracking is answer completeness and query satisfaction. AI systems seem to prioritize sources that address the full scope of what someone is likely searching for, not just the literal query.
Can you give me an example of what that looks like?
Sure. We tested queries about company formation costs and found that pages getting cited weren't just listing fees. They were covering the timeline, required documents, ongoing obligations, and common mistakes. The AI systems recognize these as more complete answers.
Right, so instead of just answering the obvious question, businesses need to anticipate the follow-up questions someone would have. That's good practice anyway, but it sounds like AI systems are specifically rewarding it.
Exactly. And this connects to something we're seeing across Perplexity and Claude especially. They favor sources that acknowledge complexity and nuance rather than oversimplifying.
How does a business balance that with keeping content accessible? You don't want to overwhelm people with technical details.
The structure matters more than the complexity. We're seeing success with layered content, clear, simple answers up front, followed by more detailed explanations for those who need them.
Like progressive disclosure. Start with the headline answer, then let people drill down if they want more detail.
Right. And this brings us to the fifth factor, content structure and semantic clarity. AI systems parse content differently than search engines traditionally have. What do you mean by semantic clarity? Is this about using specific keywords? Not keywords in the traditional sense. It's about clear logical flow, consistent terminology, and explicit relationships between concepts. AI systems are trying to understand meaning, not just text. So if a business is explaining their service, they need to be really clear about how each step connects to the next, what terms mean, that sort of thing. Exactly. We audited a legal firm where their service descriptions were full of jargon without explanation. Once they added clear definitions and logical flow, their citation rates in ChatGPT and Gemini improved significantly. That makes sense. If an AI system can't parse what you're actually offering, it's not going to recommend you. What about technical factors? Do things like page speed still matter? They matter differently. AI systems aren't directly measuring page speed, but they are accessing and parsing content. If your page is slow or difficult to crawl, it might not get into their knowledge base at all. So it's more about accessibility than performance metrics. Can the AI system actually get to and understand your content? Right. And this includes things like clear HTML structure, accessible images with proper alt text, and content that doesn't require JavaScript to display. AI systems need to be able to read and understand everything. Most business websites probably aren't optimized for AI crawling. Is this something companies need to audit specifically?
We include it in every audit now. There's no point optimizing content for AI citation if the systems can't access it properly in the first place.
Fair enough. What about the human element, though? Are AI systems considering user engagement or social signals?
That's harder to measure directly, but we suspect there's some influence. Content that generates discussion, gets shared, or receives updates based on user feedback seems to maintain stronger citation rates over time.
So businesses should be thinking about how to encourage engagement with their content, not just publishing and hoping for the best.
Yes, but it needs to be genuine engagement. AI systems are sophisticated enough to recognize authentic interaction versus manufactured activity.
Right, so focus on actually helping people rather than gaming metrics. That's sustainable business practice anyway.
The sixth factor we're tracking is geographic and contextual relevance. AI systems are getting better at understanding local context and serving regionally appropriate answers.
How does that work for UK businesses? Are they competing globally or locally for AI citations?
It depends on the query, but we're seeing AI systems prioritize UK-specific information for UK users, especially for legal, financial, or regulatory topics. Local businesses have an advantage if they're addressing local needs properly.
So a UK accountant writing about tax planning doesn't need to worry about competing with US content because the AI systems understand the regulatory context.
Mostly, yes, though they do need to be explicit about jurisdiction. Content that clearly states UK tax law or under English law gets better contextual recognition than content that assumes local knowledge.
That's a simple change most businesses could implement immediately. Just be explicit about geographic scope.
Exactly, and it helps with the clarity factor we discussed earlier. AI systems prefer explicit information over implied context.
Let's talk about measurement. How can businesses tell if they're succeeding at this? Traditional rankings don't show AI citations.
We've developed monitoring approaches that track citation frequency across different AI systems. It requires manual testing and tracking, but it's the only way to understand your AI visibility currently.
So businesses need to be proactively testing queries related to their services across ChatGPT, Perplexity, and the others to see if they're getting mentioned.
That's part of it. We also track changes in traffic patterns, especially direct traffic and referrals that might be coming from AI-influenced searches, even if we can't trace them directly.
What about Google AI overviews specifically? Are they following the same patterns as other AI systems?
There's overlap, but Google's AI overviews seem more influenced by traditional SEO signals than standalone AI systems like Claude or ChatGPT. They're still prioritizing established authority and link signals.
So businesses can't just focus on one type of AI system. They need strategies that work across different approaches.
Right. Though the fundamentals we've discussed, contextual authority, accuracy, completeness, clarity, seem to help across all systems. It's good content strategy regardless of the specific AI implementation.
That's probably the best approach for most businesses anyway. Focus on the fundamentals rather than trying to game specific systems.
Agreed. And the systems are evolving rapidly. What works for ChatGPT today might not work the same way in 6 months, but authoritative, clear, comprehensive content has staying power. So what should a UK business owner actually do with this information? Where do they start? Start with an audit of existing content against these criteria. Look for pages that could demonstrate more contextual expertise, need better source attribution, or lack geographic clarity. And then what? Rewrite everything? Focus on your most important service or product pages first. Make sure they address the full scope of likely questions, cite relevant standards or regulations, and clearly communicate your specific expertise.
That sounds manageable. Most businesses have 5 to 10 core pages that drive most of their inquiries anyway.
Exactly. Perfect those first, then expand the approach to supporting content. It's better to have a few pages that demonstrate clear AI citation potential than dozens of mediocre pages.
What about ongoing maintenance? This isn't a one-time fix, is it?
No, especially with accuracy and freshness being factors. Businesses need regular content audits to ensure information stays current and citations remain accurate.
So this becomes part of regular business operations, like updating your website or maintaining social media.
That's the right way to think about it. AI optimization isn't a separate marketing tactic. It's part of how businesses communicate their expertise and value.
Before we wrap up, any predictions about where this is heading? Are citation factors likely to change significantly?
I think we'll see more sophistication around expertise verification and real-time accuracy checking. AI systems will get better at distinguishing between genuine authority and surface-level optimization. So businesses that focus on actually being expert and communicating that expertise clearly will have sustainable advantages. Right. The businesses that succeed will be those that use AI visibility as motivation to better document and communicate what they already know, rather than trying to manipulate their way into citations. That's good business practice regardless of AI systems. Exactly. To summarize today's discussion, AI systems prioritize contextual authority, source accuracy, answer completeness, semantic clarity, technical accessibility, and geographic relevance when deciding what to cite. The key for UK businesses is demonstrating genuine expertise through clear, comprehensive, well-attributed content that addresses the full scope of customer needs. If you want help auditing your current AI visibility or developing content that AI systems recognize as authoritative, you can find more information at rank4ai.co.uk.
Thanks for listening to AI Search Explained. We'll be back next week with more practical insights for navigating the AI-driven search landscape.